In its last public hearing, the January 6th committee showing never-before-seen footage of congressional leaders pleading for help that day. The committee voting Thursday to subpoena former President Donald Trump about the attack on the Capitol last year. An hour later, President Trump let loose with a barrage of social media posts insulting the committee, but he didn't say no to testifying. Fox 5's chief legal correspondent Katie Barlow joins us now with what happened yesterday during that last meeting and what this subpoena means for Donald Trump. Katie, good morning.
Good morning to you. Good to be with you this morning. Yesterday, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot voted unanimously to subpoena former President Donald Trump. They did so after a series of hearings culminating in the one yesterday that really focused on Trump's state of mind leading up to and on January 6th. They have a lot of open questions left about what his mental state was, what he knew, what his intent was with both his inner circle and encouraging those that we saw at the rally before they stormed the Capitol. So at the conclusion of that meeting, they voted to subpoena Trump to ask him questions about that mental state. So that kind of lays the playing field. And now it's a bit of a game of chess. What happens next? Both Congress and Trump have some different responsive moves. Trump has a decision to make, whether he will ignore the subpoena, which hasn't worked out well recently. His confidant and advisor, Steve Bannon, ignored a congressional subpoena in July, was convicted of being held in contempt of Congress. Trump could fight the subpoena in courts. That could take a little bit of time. As we've seen, he's fought subpoenas before for both information about the January 6th investigation and his personal financial records. Those went all the way to the Supreme Court. So that legal battle could take a while, or he could choose to testify in front of what would be a pretty significant audience, something that this president enjoys to do. So we'll have to keep an eye on what he does next and, of course, then follow what happens after that.
All right, Katie, thanks for that quick rundown. Appreciate it.